Yeah. Go check out slap number 7 on that Raw and Uncut P-Funk Part 1. This is called Sliding, Riding, and Gliding. It's out now on YouTube exclusively. Here go the video for it. Check me out though. So I know we've all heard patience is a virtue, but does everyone also believe that patience can also hurt you? You know, patience can be a virtue, definitely so. But when patience becomes procrastination, becomes stagnation, that patience will hurt you. And I think sometimes people use patience as a way to rationalize remaining stationary, remaining stagnant. That way they're not obligated or bear the weight of the responsibility to get active or proactive if they claim that they're being patient, you know? I think that's a weak move, a weak way out of responsibility. I think that is a term people have dirtied up, and the validity of the word is not as potent now because it's almost like a cliche. People say it and use it to try to sound holier than thou. They use it in a self-pious kind of way, as if they're like the most elevated, spiritually gifted, humble, insightful, zen kind of person, you know? And that's not, people use that as a way to escape, again, responsibilities and consequences for making a move and possibly failing, you know? And then having to start the process of picking yourself back up, you know, dusting yourself off and keeping it moving, you know, and making something else happen. So when people be like, nah, I'm waiting, I'm just being patient, like, are you really though? You know what I'm saying? Is that really what it is? Is that really your stance, your positioning? Or are you just saying that as a safety net to guard against, again, responsibility for actions made, decisions made, you know? That's just a surefire way for the indecisive to remain indecisive, is to say you're being patient, you're a patient person. Because everything has a limit, you know? Nothing should be tolerated beyond the extent it should be tolerated. And everything has different tolerance levels. You get what I'm saying? Everyone has different tolerances or thresholds, you know? Pain thresholds, endurance thresholds, you know? We all have different ones. So once you know within yourself you reached the limit and your threshold and you continue to endure, you're not being patient, you're not being tolerant. You know what I'm saying? And if you're tolerant, you're accepting a new reality because you choose not to get active on that which possibly impedes you, which is stifling you, which is setting you back, which is harming you, which is afflicting, conflicting you, you know? You don't want to get active on that. So you claim you're being patient, really you're being tolerant, and you went past the threshold, you know? It's almost like drinking spoiled milk past the expiration date. You're gonna get sick. You're gonna not feel well, not feel good, because you've went past the threshold. You know, you went past the time or the extent or the limit that was set for things to be cool, for things to be good. And allowing that word patience to cripple and stifle you to remain stagnant, you're taking away the real definition, the sincere meaning of the word patience, which is a powerful virtue. It is a virtue. Patience is definitely, the real patience is definitely a virtue, for surely. I will agree. But the way some of us use it, that's not a virtue. It's a detriment. You feel me? It's a detriment. Because how much patience is time wasted? You feel me? How much patience is time wasted? That's the question, you know? And then at that point, once you're wasting time, is it still a virtue? Anything wasted is squandered, you know? And who wants to squander time? Everything happens for a reason, right? That's very true. But some things don't happen for that reason. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, if you are the reason something didn't happen, and you could have very well been the reason something did happen, why would you choose the former and not the latter? You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to fail. You don't want to not succeed. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to not accomplish the goal. So therefore, if you claim that you're patient, you don't have to bear the brunt of the possible misstep because you are quote unquote being patient. You're waiting. And, you know, to each their own, different strokes for different folks. Whatever works for you, I guess that's the move, you know. It is what it is until it ain't. You feel me? Yeah, do what you do. Say what you say. Feel how you feel. You know, be as patient as you want to be. You feel me? There's nothing wrong with that. But again, if you abuse the definition of that term and step according to what you believe that means to you, and then you taint it, you defile it, you're going to expect to see in others the definition that you placed on that word to be exemplifying what you believe that word means. Like patience, you know, for example. You're going to believe patience should be exemplified the way you have defiled it. So therefore, if somebody doesn't exhibit patience in the way that you see fit, you won't believe it is what it's really supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? What it's intended to be. So right there, you're doing a disservice not only to yourself by not being sincere and exemplifying in all earnest and all honesty what that term actually means. You know what I'm saying? You're doing a disservice to those who you're looking to also be what they say they are, and they really are, but you see it skewed. You see it messed up. You have a messed up definition. You're stagnant. You get what I'm saying? So it causes confusion, unnecessary confusion. That's the issue. That right there in and of itself is the issue, because the confusion you cause believing something is what it is not, and believing that you're being what it is supposed to be, you're encouraging others to exemplify it the way that you feel as though you're exemplifying it, but it's improper. If you really think about it, if you really take a self-assessment, self-evaluate, you know, dig deep and be introspective for 1 second or maybe 2, and look within you and be like, okay, every time I said I was being patient, was it really time wasted? Could I have really been doing something? Could I have really been investing time, energy, effort, focus into this right here? Or have I actually been patient and things have actually benefited my situation because I have sincerely been patient? And let's touch on that. Let's break it down. To me, patience is understanding that time is not in your control. You can't control time. Nobody can control time. You can't stop it. You know, I could stop recording right now. I have control over that. But once I start recording, time will continue. Time will continue. It'll keep ticking. That being said, everything's not going to happen in the time that I want it to happen in. You know? That's a fact. That's a reality. You can put plans in motion. You can take steps toward a destination. And everything will come to fruition in this designated time. Just because you plant a seed today doesn't mean it's going to grow tomorrow. You know, like literally speaking. Today, tomorrow. But again, if you're a patient person, you believe that the seeds you plant today will grow tomorrow. Not literally, but figuratively. You feel me? Metaphorically. The seeds you plant today will grow tomorrow. You just don't know what day tomorrow is, you know? So if you're a patient person, you believe that time works in the interest of those who are sincerely patient, you know? Those who understand and appreciate that time waits nor stops for no man, you know, or woman. Again, how much patience is time wasted? Have you in your day-to-day at times where you said, I'm being patient, this is a patient moment for me? Were you really being patient, or were you being stagnant? Were you being a procrastinator? Were you being content in wallowing in an unfortunate situation or circumstance that you really believed at the time? Because it's true for some of us. It's been true for me at times, but I've never wallowed in it. I've lost hope. I have. But I've always did something, even if it was against my better judgment at the moment, even if it was rash or quick or sudden, I was always doing something. But yet and still though, you feel me? Were you really being patient, or were you wallowing in an unfortunate circumstance or situation and choosing to not be active, you know? Not even reactionary, you feel me? Was that your reality? And if we're being honest, that right there will tell you if you had the definition messed up, you feel me? If you had the definition of patience misconstrued, you know? If you were exemplifying characteristics of another term, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you weren't being patient, but you were being enduring. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you weren't being patient, but you were being tolerant. Maybe you were not being patient. Maybe you were procrastinating, you know? And it's very important to correctly identify when you're expressing what you're going through to people, what it actually is, because people also are looking to others, especially if you're in a position of teaching another that is coming from under you. You know, they're looking to you to identify similar feelings and put descriptions and words to those feelings, you know? And if you say it out your mouth the incorrect way, and you believe you're exemplifying A, but you're really exemplifying B, but you tell so-and-so that you're exemplifying A, and you say, yeah, I'm exemplifying A, but really you're doing B, you're going to cause confusion again, you know? You're going to make people believe that they're wrong for doing what's improper. What's proper, and they're going to think they're improper for doing what's proper. You get me? Everything's going to be mixed up is what I'm saying. They're going to think they're wrong for doing right and right for doing wrong. You feel me? So that being said, we have to be diligent in understanding how we express, how we explain things that we might be going through. We have to be sincere in moments that we are going through whatever we're going through, because again, to personify and manifest something and then to explain it as something else is inherently deceitful. That's inherently deceitful, you know? And why would you choose to mislead if you're still trying to identify within yourself what you're going through, you know? If you're still trying to put a finger on how you feel, or how this made you feel, or how this, you know, situation changed you, and, you know, don't you want to properly identify why, how, what? Wouldn't you want to? Like, really? Who wouldn't want to? And if you don't, ask yourself why not. Why would you choose to deceive as opposed to being sincere? Whether with yourself or with others, lookers on, you know, or hearers about, you know. Why would you want to be the person that is the deceiver and not the, you know, the sincere? I don't know. But I say all that to say, many people say that patience is a virtue, but do those same people say that patience can hurt you? All right, just think about that. I guess I'll call that food for thought. And yeah, I'm gonna leave it right there. Yeah.
DJ Skills Big M Drums Magic.
I dig bilingual bitches too. You hear me? Underlay. $20 pesos.